Good morning and welcome to another episode of Limmy Bashers. Today it is diff swap time. Diff will be coming out of this, and hopefully by the end of the day it should get done. It'll be going into the wagon, so the wagon will be parked in behind this out there, and I'll rip the diff out and roll this one out and bolt it up in under it. I've got my 25mm front strut spacers as well, and I've got my 2-inch extended shackles for the leaf. So these are out of a Hilux, or both of these are out of a Hilux. So I have been told that they fit, but we'll see what happens. Otherwise I might just have a nice big heavy pair of knuckle dusters. But if they don't go into the wagon, I'm sure young Trav will make good use of them in his actual Hilux, which they should bolt straight into. So, but that's the plan for today. After the diff swap gets done, which is the main priority, then I might start throwing the tent on the roof of the wagon instead of on the ute, and then that way all that's left remaining on the ute is just the front suspension for another big weekend to be done, because I really cannot be bothered doing that this weekend, and to be honest, don't really have the space to do it. So, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Big breaker bar for the win. Hard bass. So, run into a slight problem. The shackles, the Hilux shackles that I've got, they sort of flare out at the bottom, and the bolts that go through them are this big, but the thickness of that won't fit through the leaf spring bushing. So these ones will, but they're nowhere near as long. So I'm trying to go through all my spare bits and pieces and stuff that I have to try and find a bolt that will fit, because I'm really not keen on drilling out those bushings because I don't have another set to go in. So for the time being, the shackles aren't going. Good news and bad news. Good news is I found the right size bolt to put through the shackle. Granted, it does need a few washers and stuff spacing that bush out, which isn't ideal. It would be better if they were bigger washers. And all of the bolts need sort of a sleeve to go in between the bolt and the shackle, because there's a bit of movement there otherwise. But that's not the bad news. The bad news is that bolt is the one from the front of the leaf spring from the ute, so can't really use that for now, which is a bit disappointing. But you know, at least I know the size of it for now, which is good. So I mean, I'm not saying that I will get those exact same bolts from Ford or whatever, but if I can't find anything from like Bunnings or high tensile or anything like that. Either tomorrow or next week sometime, then I can just buy some of them from Ford and see if they'll be okay, which they should be because they usually hold onto a spring anyway, so they're rated for it, which is good. But yeah, so a little bit disappointing, but I'll see if I can, I don't know, I might be able to find something at work or make something up maybe. So yeah, hurdle 1, not really crossed, but figured out. Balls! Oh well. Moving on.
It's now time to attempt the world's quickest diff swap.
Let's get into it.
Hard bass.
The diff is in. I've now got the RTV locker diff in the wagon. All it's left to do is wire it up, run the line, put in the the vacuum pump, and chuck the wheels on, and then she's good to go. Diff swap done, and that's me done for tonight. Run the line from the diff all the way up to the engine bay about there-ish. So I'll run it. I'll finish that off tomorrow. I'll wire in the new solenoid, which is over here. Wire in the new solenoid, or vacuum pump, whatever you want to call it, and the rest of the line for the engine bay tomorrow, so the diff locker actually works. I've got to make my own, or wire in my own sort of switch sort of thing, so that it's just a hardwired system rather than through the ECU like in the RTV, which is rubbish. And yeah, a bit disappointing about the shackles, but what are you gonna do? I'll sort something out at a later date. But for now, peace!